Hi there everybody, it's Rarity here from inkybutterfly.com. Thank you so much for joining me today for our Stamp Around the World video hop. So demonstrators from all around the world are participating today for our theme Sparkle and Shine. So I've opted to use foil and embossing for some shine, and we've got some little sparkle gems on there too. Okay, so I've chosen some of that neutral cardstock, Early Espresso here with the gold, just to make that really pop. Okay, so everything everyone makes is going to be listed in the description. Do pop along and have a look there for those links, and if you can subscribe, like, share, comments and all that kind of thing, which really helps increase the output for our videos and gets them out there for other people to find as well, which is really appreciated. You'll also find the details of all the products I've used today in there as well. Okie dokie, so this is what we're aiming for. We're going to be using textured notes. This stamp set is going to be retiring. This one's on last chance. It's one of our cling rubber ones, so the rubber stamps are going to be gradually phased out. So this one's retiring, but the dies that go with it are these fantastic frames with this embossed detail. These are super useful, but these aren't on the last chance. It's just the stamp set. Okay, so we're going to use those today for our card. Okay, so obviously, building that background, which I love to do. Okay, using the frames for the panel. Okay, and there's a bit of tone on tone stamping. Yeah, you can see it in there as well, just to use that stamp set with the Early Espresso ink. Okay, so here's our brown and gold version. Probably I don't know, I reckon you could send that to a guy. But we're going to do blue and silver, so we're going to bring in the beautiful Night of Navy to work with today. The layering I'm doing is with the two-tone cardstock, so has a light side and a dark side. Okay, and I used the light side on this one with the dark in the inside. I'm going to switch it round, so I think the embossing is going to show better on the darker colour, and you'll be able to see the tone on tone stamping better on the lighter version. Okay, so it's going to switch that around a little bit. So I've already cut this down, so when I create a full card panel, this will measure 4 by 5 3/4, and that should fit nicely inside a UK half fold card, whether it's a top fold or a side fold. Okay, so that's what we're going to use. Okay, to create our background. I'll pop that over there for the time being. So just going to bring in the some scrap paper. So we're going to stamp around the edges of this with Versamark ink. I'm going to use this beautiful sort of leaf stamp. It's on a D block. It's quite a large stamp. You want to ink this up pretty well, and I always forget this step. I always forget this. It's sitting there in front of me, staring at me, and I always forget anti-static. Okay, now for this background, I don't think I'm going to be super concerned about little flecks of embossing powder that end up where they shouldn't be. But if you want something clean and crisp, it's a really good idea to use that, especially on this lighter weight cardstock, that it picks up the any residual oil from your skin and stuff quite easily. So just bear that in mind. So when I'm handling it, I'm just trying to not use my fingertips and reintroduce anything from there. So we'll just stamp this around. Now you probably can't see a lot going on here, right? But in the light you'd be able to, can I catch it? There we go. You can see it. So position yourself so that you can see that stamping on your desk, however you work, and then hopefully you don't get any crossover. where the images overlap. But like I say, I don't think it's the end of the world if that happens. I'm not looking for any symmetry particularly. I'm just looking to fill around that edge, mixing the way the stamp is orientated, just so you get different bits showing. Okay, and if you feel like you need extra bits in the corners or there's little gaps, then you can just fill that in afterwards. So I'm going to pop just a little bit of something in that corner and a little bit of something in this gap at the top here, just so that it looks a little bit just don't want too many big gaps, that's all. That'll do. Right, let's pop that away so we don't end up with stuff all over the place, and then we'll transfer this to our little tidy tray, and we're going to use the metallics powders. So you get a set of 3, gold, silver and copper. The copper would look great on green cardstock to give it that sort of verdigris kind of look. So I'm just going to sprinkle that on and then tap off all that excess, so it looks like you're putting on tons of powder, but you're not. I'm going to reposition these tweezers so I can hold on to it in a different place. There we go. Just gently tap that so that we get all that oh, missed a bit up there. And there's a few bits and pieces where I just need to brush away some excess, so we'll just do that quickly. You get a little brush with the Embossing Editions set, which is good for getting rid of big bits. But I find a detailed paintbrush better for some of these other little bits and pieces. And say I just want to get rid of those harsh lines that have crept in where I've overstamped slightly. Been a bit overzealous with my ink there, so it's just caught a bit. Nice sharp flick in the centre there should release most of that. I'll say the odd spot here and there I'm not too worried about. Just don't want any lines from the edge of the stamp showing. That'll do. Right, okay. Let's just pop that to one side for a moment. But I'll secure my tweezers in a place where there's no embossing, and we'll tip this away. Because if I don't do this now, I can guarantee I will catch it while I'm moving around on my desk, and it will end up everywhere. Right, let's put those to one side, and I've got a bit of powder on my desk, so I'm just going to sweep that away again, just so that it doesn't end up where it shouldn't. There we go. Right, so we need to heat set this. So at the moment it's all dull and not very pretty looking. But we're going to use the heat tool. We're going to use setting number 2 to heat this up. And I'm going to heat from the back and then transfer to the front to get that powder nice and warmed up. It's really loud. So if you like that sort of ASMR sort of white noise, go ahead and leave the volume up. If not, mute now, and I'll come back and describe what we're going to do with the rest of the card. Okay, see you in a tick. Okay, hopefully I had that angled well enough for you to see that it's gone from that dull powder to this beautiful silver shine now. Okay, and there's the odd fleck in there, you know, but most of that's going to get covered up, but we'll call that a design feature. Okay, and that'll be good. So the heat will warp your cardstock a little bit, so you might want to just encourage that to lay a little bit more flat. But what we'll do is we'll put plenty of adhesive on this. So I'm just going to use my stamping seal, and I'm going to put a little bit extra on, a couple of lines down the sides, top and bottom, to really help us keep that in place. And we'll pop some in the middle as well. Okay, so take our card base, and then, you know, you can decide which way up you want it. I think most of my leaves are pointing up that way, so let's do that. And I'm just going to look at this edge here to line up the cardstock. A bit harder to do when it's tone on tone, but if you go for it, get that lined up at the bottom, and if everything's cut straight, hopefully it will sit and do its thing. Now, because it's all warpy, I'm sort of sliding my hand across and sort of flattening it out as I press down. Okay, and then you can give that real good rub to burnish that adhesive with a bone folder. Okay, so keep that nice and flat, and then you could actually, that's turned out all right, that's not too warpy, so that's fine, but you could put then a nice heavy object on there. The big F block is good to weigh things down, so you can keep that flat. Okay, so that's our card base. Stunning. Okay, now what I've done ahead of time is I've already cut some silver with this panel with the little lines on it, which is lovely. And then the next die down does these little sort of crisscrossy things, sort of looks like a bit like blanket stitch sort of. Okay, and that's the light side. Okay, but before we stick it down, we're just going to do a bit of tone on tone stamping. So just need that scrap paper again, and we'll have coordinating ink, so we'll use the Night of Navy ink. We're going to use this sort of basket weave kind of image, and again, not worrying about positioning per se. I just want something in the background to sort of break up that panel a little bit, just a little bit around the edge there, and that will do. It just gives a bit of interest and another little bit of texture, and the detail that you get from that stamp is actually quite phenomenal. Okay, so that's that. We'll pop that away, and we'll again get that stuck down. Oops. With some stamping seal. Whoops, my ink wasn't right. So just line that up with that embossed section in the middle. Okay, I'm just gonna just grab a little bit of water and just get rid of that. She says not being able to grab a cloth. Where's a cloth? There we go. My surface is a silicone kitchen worktop saver thing, so it's really good, and you can clean it down, and you can heat and not worry about any warping on your surface. And I'm going to use that scrap again. Let's going to burnish this on the back as well, just to make sure that adhesive's really attached to that foil. It's a non-porous surface. And then you can give this a really good clean with alcohol as well, because it won't affect it. It's really robust, obviously made for a kitchen. So right, that way up, we want some dimensionals on this. Okay, only need 4, don't need to go crazy. And then this is going to overlap the embossing a tad. So again, non-porous surface. So I'm just going to have just a merest drop of the multi-purpose adhesive on there as well, which will give a really nice strong bond where that might overlap with the embossing. Okay, so centering that, looking left and right predominantly. If it's a bit up and down, it doesn't matter. But if you want it to look straight, you need those sides to be right. So just hover over that, and that little bit of glue will give you just a nanosecond of wriggle room. Okay, and again, you can stick a block on that and make sure it's dry. Okay, I've gone ahead and used a bit of that excess cardstock. That's the two-tone, but I've used the dark side to stamp and a heat emboss in silver again with the little thank you there. And I've used a stylish shape just to add a little bit of silver behind there. So again, I'm just going to use some seal. Okay, and position that on there, just looking to get that wording nice and level across that silver strip. Okay, press that down, and then we'll have some seal on the back. Maybe just a teensy bit of glue just to secure that onto the front of the card. Okay, so we've got all this lovely detail sort of popping through here, so you could mix it up and orientate that a little bit differently. I might put this a little bit higher this time rather than covering up that bit, because it sort of wants to go there really. So how's about we put it there so we don't lose some of that detail, but then we've got some blank spaces here. Let's go out there and put it up there. Then we can put our embellies down in the in this other portion. So let's go there, just to mix it up a little bit. Okay, and then these sparkle gems. Now, I was just trying to find whether these are still available or last chance or whatever, but I couldn't get onto the website this morning. So use some silver gems that you have, or sparkly stuff, to embellish. Oh, that wasn't stuck. Now it's stuck. The so again, these come in 2 sizes in this particular set of embellishments. So we'll do the odd numbers and get those cascading down the card, just to sort of draw the eye in a little bit. But these are really cool. I like these. I love anything that's just the metallics, because they can be used with literally anything. So hopefully we'll get something similar if they are retiring. So that's my idea for the this shimmer and shine, or sparkle and shine challenge that we've got on for our Stamping Around the World video hop today. Links will be in the description for everybody who's participated. We've got demos from America and Australia participating, so we are all over the place. I think there's a lady in Ireland as well. Okay, there we go. And here's the original one with the gold and early espresso. And like I say, another idea would be to use the copper with a green old olive or shaded spruce or something like that, to really make that shine. And then obviously there's all our basics embossing powders as well, in black, white and clear, so they can look really good on the dark coloured cardstocks as well. A clear will give you that lovely shine, but it'll be look tone on tone, or have the bright white of the thingy. The black embossing powder is really lovely as well, to give some shine to your sentiments and things like that. Okay, so that's it from me rambling on. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you back on the channel very soon. Stay safe, take care out there, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.